Okay, I'm not sure if this is going to work, but I'm going to try to explain intervals in this video. So, the way that musictheory.net teaches it is different than the way that I learned it. If you're good with half steps and whole steps, like on the piano, then you might like the way musictheory.net does it. But so the way I was taught it is with key signatures. So let's say you've got the key of C. You're in the key of C. So don't worry about anything here because it's all natural. So let's say we need a major third and the bottom note is an F. So if you take the F, then you've got 1, 2, 3. So then you move up to an A is at your top note. But now you have to make sure that it's major or minor if it's asking for a minor. So the way that you know that it's a major third is you find the key signature for the key of F major, which would be just one flat, B flat. And so this is an A, and it's natural in the key of F. So that would be a major third right there because it's natural. Now if it were a minor third instead, you would still go up to the A, but since in the key of F, A is natural, that would be major. So you have to make A flat, and then you got a minor third. So basically what you need to do for intervals and for triads and all that is you have to know your key signatures. And you can even count them out like B, E, A, D, G, C, F, and backwards for sharps and all that. Or you can just know them. I still count them out pretty much. So then an interval, let's say it's F, or not an interval, a triad. F, A, C. It's really messy, but yeah. So if it's F, A, and C, then you know it's a triad. But the way that you know that it's a major triad, so let's say major, is that the interval between the first two notes is a major third, and then the interval between the first note and the last note, or the top note, so the first and the fifth, that's going to be a perfect fifth. So, and something about perfect fifths, if it's minor, so like, let's say this was a C flat, well actually, yeah, let's say this was a C flat, then it would be a diminished fifth, but then that wouldn't be a major triad. So that's kind of off to the side. I can maybe come back to that later. But so you need a major third between the first two, and then a perfect fifth in total. So between the bottom and the top. Let's see. So let's try something different. I don't know how much you know about diminished and augmented, but let's do diminished seventh, and we'll start on F. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you go up to the E. Alright, now in the key of F, which has one flat, which is B, so it doesn't affect the E up here. So E is natural in the key of F. So that would be a major seventh right there. So, but we want it diminished. So you could flat the E, but then that would be a minor seventh. So what you need is a double flat, which would then make it diminished. Now because diminished is one step below minor, except for perfect fifths and perfect fourths. Let's say they wanted an augmented seventh. And so When it's minor, they're closer together. When it's diminished, they're even closer together. When it's augmented, they're as far apart as they can be right now, like talking about intervals. So an augmented seventh, so this is major seventh right now because E is natural in the key of F. So that would be a major seventh, but now you want to make the space bigger, so you add a sharp to the E. So now that would be an augmented seventh. So let's see, we've got, let's start with like a diminished third, a minor third, a major third, and an augmented third. And we'll start on F to make everything simple, or at least. And so what we would do for all of these is you find the key of F, because it's the bottom note, one flat, which is B. And then you also, if there was something in the key signature, you'd have to refer to the key signature to make sure, let's say this was in the key of E flat, the whole thing, this whole measure was in the key of E flat. If that was the case, then you would have an A flat right here. No, E, E, A, yes you would. So that A flat, it would be an A flat. But since we're in the key of C, it's just an A natural. And the only thing with F being your bottom note you have to worry about is a B flat. And so you've got, so this is a major third right now. To make it a diminished third, you have to double flat the A, because one flat would make it a minor third, two flats makes it a diminished third. So as I just said, one flat would make it a minor. So there you go. And then major, it's already major. Augmented, you'd have to sharp the A. And so there are all of the, there's diminished, minor, major, augmented. Now, so basically the best thing to do for this is like practice, honestly. If you can find a workbook or a website, then that would be really good for you. So if you've got, let's say it's in the key, let's do a hard key. D. So not a super hard key, but the key of A flat. So let's go with the F again. And we want a major third. So if it were in the key of C, or any key that didn't have the flat A, then it would already be a major third. But because in the key signature there's a flat on the A, then you have to account for that. So it's as if this were a flat. So to get it to a major third, you would need to make that natural. So you would just write a natural sign next to it, and then it would be a major third. So let's see. Let's talk about the diminishing of a perfect fourth or fifth. So that can't be an A, that needs to be a B. Okay, so let's say it wants a diminished fourth. So in the key of F, B is flat. And this B is flat because of the key signature. So you've got a major, so a perfect fourth. Now to make it a diminished fourth, you need another flat on the B. So you would make it a double flat, technically. And then, yeah, that would be diminished. That pretty much got to go. So that's good for now, maybe. And maybe you can ask any questions on the video if you have any. I don't know if my head's completely cut off from this camera, but yeah. So hopefully that'll help. If not, I can still answer some questions. All right.